Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Rain Day Gaming. My name is Rain Day, and today we're going to be taking a look at Neith in some 3v3 Joust with Emir and Rama on my team going up against an Ares, a Nox, and a Chiron. Guys, are you hype? I am so excited to be showing you one of the most picked hunters in Smite right now, and I'll talk about why she's most picked in just a moment. I'll give you a build to use for her, and I'll show you some fun Joust gameplay in just a moment against some very heavy CC people over here. But Neith, she's got her own CC as well. It looks like I'm playing against some Latin, some Spanish-speaking comrades in this solo queue Joust. Sometimes you got a solo queue, guys, you know what I mean? Somebody told me once, we're here to chew bubblegum and kick ass, and we're out of bubblegum. So that's just really how I take a look at life. No, I'm kidding. Just throwing a little gallows humor out to you guys. If you don't know what that is, go ahead and look it up. But I've been reading some Armada by Ernest Klein, the author of Ready Player One as well. Spielberg's directing the movie adaptation in 2016, so watch out, guys. You better read that book. It's pretty awesome. Got a lot of funny moments in that as well, so just bringing some of that into the channel. Hope you guys are doing well. I am in Chile at the moment. That's right, guys. I am broadcasting from Chile. I am so glad to be able to bring you guys games while I'm here. I've got my little setup. It looks a little hobo-ish, I gotta say. But I mean, if anything, with a person with a laptop and all that can be hobo-ish. But you see the Spirit Arrow goes on to the Ares here. I'm hitting a couple of basic attacks after the Emir freeze, but it's not enough. My Unravel goes ahead and heals me up a little bit, but the Nox Root, Shadow Lock goes in, keeps me in place. The Ares there is trapped again. I have my backflip ready to apply a slow and some damage for that Rama to keep pursuing, but the Nox Silence makes it so that he wants to take a step back, and hey, I would want to take a step back from a big black ball of dangerous silency stuff as well. But you see the arrow hits there for double damage on the broken weave as well. Neith, one of her mechanics being that broken weave, the Robin with a great root there, and it looks like he may be able to go for it, but not enough. Again, we are so close in this engagement. All of us are just basically hanging by a thread. They're staying because they see Emir and Ravan low. I'm at medium health, and I have Death's Toll, the starter item, allowing me to get 6 health and 1 mana per shot. I almost hit with the Spirit Weave there, and I see Ares is almost level 5. He looks like he's being very aggressive, and I'm starting to think, you know what, maybe he's trying to set up for an ultimate to really mess us up. But you know what, I've got beads, and I used them right there in order to get out of that Shadow Lock as I saw the Ares chains coming, and I knew that might be enough damage to go ahead and take me out. So I decided beads. I wanted to stay for those last minions, and I really need to stay to base as my man Dark Shidaki is telling me to do. So I go ahead and take my teammates' advice, go back to base with that damage buff. I'm hitting pretty hard. Early damage buff for Neith is pretty good in Joust from what I found. You hit about 106 per basic attack versus like 86, and that can cause a lot of, that could be a big difference. Now, I know I'm hitting level 5 soon. The Ravan and the Emir are pushing up, and let's talk a little bit about Neith while we have this time, and I grab this buff over here. Now, Neith is one of the most picked gods in Smite right now. The reason is she's a safe pick. She's kind of like the Thor of hunters, where she has a lot of utility. She brings definite team fight engagement potential and gank potential to any team composition. She's got a lot of CC, and hard CC is very valuable in this meta, guys. If you haven't figured that out right now, a lot of the analysts at Smite have been discussing this recently, and I've been paying attention to it. And for those of you who think, I don't play Conquest, so why are you giving us advice on the meta? It's because you can learn a lot from just listening to analysts, watching professional players. I made this comment on stream and on my comments, but it's like assuming that a Sports Illustrated writer has to play basketball. They could watch as much basketball or more to be knowledgeable enough to discuss what's going on with the players, the tactics of the teams, and all of that. They don't actually have to play the sport to be knowledgeable. As you see, the Emir just uses beads right away, anticipating the Ares, but his beads are down, but the Emir ult is still available. I backflip out of that, although I got hit with both ultimates there and somehow still survived the Chiron shooting at me, but I've juked him out enough. Looks like he was going for the Emir. The damage does not come. I have my World Weaver. I'm ready to charge it up. The Ravan is still fighting. The Chiron is there as well. I have my ultimate again, and the Chiron takes down our Ravan for the first blood. He stayed a little bit longer, but I was really surprised he even survived that long. But the Nox now going full ham on me. I get the Spirit Arrow and a couple of hits. Of course, they don't want to hit me because my tower will be reacting, and so it's a very good position to be in. I'm threatening the World Weaver, but it looks like they're blocking. I actually go in onto the Nox. He's saying attack. They're here in a bad spot. The Emir is there with the freeze, but he misses it. However, the Ares is going hard on me, but the damage from the minion archers allows me to get credit for that kill, even though I wasn't hitting him with those final basic attacks. And that is one of the reasons why you have to be so careful, guys, when you go in. Timing is almost just as important at these early stages. Even at level 6, those minion archers still hurt especially if you're at low health. So just be very cognizant of that when you pick your battles here. And now they're low health. Now we've turned the tide. The Ares is going back. The Ravon's pressuring the Nox. And so now we have some free opportunity here to get some damage on this tower, but I decided to take it to maybe go back a little bit and check the buffs, find out there are no buffs. The Nox is in a bad spot. I don't have any ultimates there, but it looks like Highwayman took out our Amir. That Nox getting some revenge for, you know, just not being able to do much while we got some tower damage, and then eventually going ahead and getting the kill, which is great. I go ahead and backflip, which you'll see is a common thing for Neith to do. Just run in your face and backflip and plant that broken weave. Now, guys, for the mechanics of Neith, I'm assuming you guys know about it, but I will fill those in who don't. She's got this broken weave mechanic in her passive, which is great, which allows her to basically combo off these broken weaves she leaves with. What happens is when she kills someone, a broken weave happens, and that's that little circle on the floor. But also when she backflips, another broken weave stays on the ground. It's a little reticle there, and you probably see some as I go into lane. Right there in the middle, right next to Ares, you see one there. Now, if I hit my Spirit Arrow there, I actually can stun in an area and do double damage with my #1, which is a great ability to not only root, cause damage, and set you up for other basic attacks, but just set the other team up as to, like, this is the target we're going for, right, guys? That's why I value so much CC like Neith. It just makes it so clear this is who we're fighting, and now turning the fight around with the Ares, just putting myself in a good position, hitting a couple basic attacks. I see the Nox trying to pursue me, but I also see this Chiron basically getting aggressed on there 2v1. I decide to go in. Nox goes in that corridor and uses her dash early, and I know that is a big mistake, so I go ahead and pursue with everything I've got, and I end up getting the kill. Now the Ares blinks in, but it's too late. It's 3v1. It's actually 2v1 here. The Ares is running away. The Ymir damage doesn't get him, but the wall blocks Ymir off. However, I'm able to finish him with the World Weaver, guys, and that's 3-0 for me, which is great. I'm almost ready to finish up my Devourer's Glove. In fact, I have more than enough money for that. And then I'm able to go ahead and get into my next part of my build as we start taking this tower down. I'll set up a weave and easily clear there, as well as hit the Chiron there for 98 apiece. Use my Unravel to take a little bit more damage. Hit him again for 96 apiece. He's one basic attack away from dying, but the Nox comes over and actually hits me with a Shadow Lock. Great combo there. Almost takes me with the Siphon Darkness, but I don't think the damage works. I hit a couple basic attacks on her, root the Ares, and I move back to safety. Now, with those broken weaves, you're going to be getting double damage when you hit them with your Spirit Arrow, but you're also going to be getting double damage and a stun and an area root. So that means you can root more than one person. You can root an entire team if they happen to be unsuspecting of that, and a lot of people are unsuspecting of that when they play Neith, surprisingly. But in the professional scene, why is Neith picked so much, guys? It's because she's such a good counter to Soul. Now, the reason she's a good counter is not because of, like, Fenrir Ratatoskr, where Fenrir can literally stay with Ratatoskr during his dashes, which is Ratatoskr's main source of damage and mobility, and so it basically nullifies that if someone's able to stick with it, not only doing that and causing damage at the same time. It's a hard counter. Neith is a great counter for many reasons, because not only the root does the root actually affects Soul now, because her Disapparate, her incorporeal ability does not cleanse roots anymore. She will stay rooted in that spot. The other issue is, as you see, I'm taking down the Chiron here. We're going 1v1. He hits me with the slow. I use the Unravel. I'm going against him, and I'm almost about to kill him. I have my ultimate available, and I'm charging it up, but it looks like he goes into his ultimate first, and that catches me off guard, and I realize, man, that was a bad play by me. I'm hoping that they get this Nox here. The Ymir uses his beads, again, a little bit preemptively there, but it looks like they're going to take down this Nox. However, I'm a little salty about losing that Chiron in that 1v1 duel. I definitely could have got him. I just thought I had an easy kill, and I forgot he can go into his ultimate and be unkillable. I forgot that little piece. Still haven't seen Chiron so far in the Smite World Championships, guys. I've been watching a lot of the games and wait to see him. I want to see him. You guys got to see him. I mean, I think he's going to be seen a lot. That's just my opinion. But anyways, need a hard counter to Soul because of the fact that her root doesn't get cleansed by Soul's #3, and also she can clear. Soul's clear is crazy, and Neith can clear really, really well, and actually can outpush a Soul. So that's one of the reasons why she's kind of picked. If ever Soul's picked, you'll see Neith usually picked on the other side. And to be honest, Neith does a lot of damage. Now, she's not a traditional hunter. As you see here, I'm getting a hit, and I think I have enough time to get out, but I realized the Ares chains last way longer than I anticipated, and I go ahead and get 2 kills in a row. Now, that was a bad play. I had my beads, but I didn't want to use them because they're tier 3. that would mean I'd have 3 minutes without beads, and I didn't want to use them for not Ares' ultimate. And so basically, I waited thinking that the chains would run out, but he hit 3 in a row. My dodges didn't do anything, and I basically was able just standing there until I took enough damage and eventually died, and I wouldn't have even been able to backflip as well because of the Siphon Darkness. However, I see the Chiron running away. I fire a World Weaver after fully charging it up. I don't know what happens, and then I get the kill confirmed there that I took down the Chiron. I know that's sweet after he beat me up, and I've gotten a couple kills, deaths in a row. I felt pretty bad about that. So now it's time for me to go ahead and fulfill. I use a backflip away from where I was in order to help try and get this kill. I've got a Spirit Arrow available, and that damage goes ahead and seals the deal. I tell him nice job because it was technically a little bit of a kill steal. He did a lot of the work there, but I was able to go ahead and make sure that he didn't die, because look at his health, guys. He could have very easily died if I didn't secure that by a couple basic attacks. So I just wanted to really secure that. So I did. I really did, guys. I'm really not trying to steal kill steal. Oh my god, I can't ever say that right. But you see the Chiron there. What do you want, Chiron? I've got you, baby. You're going for the wrong person, because the one person that's going to kill you are my minions. That's right, my minions are going to kill you. And I get away with 5 health, and I avoid the Ares ultimate. 5 freaking health, guys. Somehow I made it out. LOL from the Ravon. Then I was able to avoid that, and the Ares does not get me. Just fantastic stuff. So I'm very, very happy about this. But yeah, we're talking about Neith as a hard counter. Well, a counter, but not necessarily a hard counter. But she just pushes really well, and that root is very good against Soul. And you'll see Soul picked a lot, so you see a lot of Neith now. And after, I believe, Vitium, or it might have been Vitium, I guess they're calling him Vitium now. I don't know if that's how you pronounce it. I've always heard it Vitium. He's a professional player. And the other one, Snoopy, I think actually brought this counter to everyone's attention. And so it's kind of like very popular now. It's pretty much common Smite knowledge at this point, and that's why you see a lot of Neith in these games. Now I see that they do not see me coming, and I have a perfect opportunity here to go ahead and take out the Nox with several basic attacks. I actually hit my Spirit Arrow and root all, like, 2 of them. I root all 3 of them, technically. Nox goes into the Chiron. I get the double kill onto the Chiron, and then the Nox as she pops out, and then the Ares and I are the only person left. I get the Spirit Arrow because that goes through walls. I miss my first basic attack, miss my third, and actually hit my second and fourth there, but he stays around. I have no idea why he stays around to fight. I guess he's trying to make sure the tower doesn't go down, but he's got no health, no mana. He should have ran right there. What was he thinking? I go ahead and get a couple basic attacks in, and the Ymir gets that well-deserved kill after a great freeze, even though I had it under control, man. Now that could have maybe been a kill steal. I don't know. But that Ares should have just ran, guys. You know, sometimes you got to cut your losses, and trying to stay and survive and take a tower is really not worth it. I go ahead and land that number 1 onto Neith there, and Nox is trying to kill me, but basically I just get enough kills on Nox that she roots me, she Siphon Darknesses me, and I just kill her. I just straight away kill her. Now I'm a little concerned potentially if Chiron saw how low I was, then he might be shooting through these walls, because his ultimate goes 120 meters, guys. It's pretty far. Those arrows travel farther than you think, so I'm very aware of that. And in Joust and small, containers of games like this, where it's a very small map, even Clash, you got to be really, really aware of that here. I see the Chiron, and we're calling for a gank middle lane. I'm trying to hit him with something, some type of CC, but it's not enough, and Ymir as well. I think our team's doing really well, too, because of CC. I also think we just have enough, we have 3 stuns. 3 of us have stuns and roots, and I think that's just really hard to beat, especially when they're not our ultimates. They're just basic abilities, and they're up off cooldown so well. They're not the same difficulty as Nox, but we did see Nox's potential. We saw a team comp earlier in the Smite World Championships, guys, about Nox, with Nox in it, and it was actually a really, really good team comp. It was really cool to see Nox get played. Saw some Chronos get played as well. Not necessarily, as you see the Chiron here, gets taken down. I don't crit yet, but basically the Chiron is dead almost. I get the Unravel for the kill. That's enough damage to go ahead and take him down, and now I am 10-2, and it looks like we might be able to get this game in just a moment. The Ares wants to pretty much go ahead and Ares pretty much wants to ult, but he's like, what's the point if I just die right away? I missed that Nox, and that's just sad because I missed several basic attacks. I get hit with all that, and I'm like, all right, I gotta go back. that was pretty sad. I hit the Unravel to get a little bit of lifesteal, which is Neith's number 2 ability, as Ares now starts to go ahead, and I wait till the last second to blow my beads so that he thinks he might be able to catch me, but the Nox catches me in another combo there, but I actually kill her and get 29 health away. I use my Unravel just to get a little bit of life, because you can do that. I actually did it over a broken weave, and I cannot believe it. I got away with 29 health somehow. I just am doing so much damage, and the Devourer's gloves helping me out there. Now, this isn't a traditional Neith build, guys, and let's talk about the build for a second, because a lot of people will build Jotunns on Neith. It's a great item on Neith. I would say that you should build Jotunns on Neith. But a lot of people won't necessarily go into crit because she's not, they might get something like Brawler's Beatstick for more penetration, so her abilities hit harder, because she's really an ability-powered hunter. If you guys don't know what that means, let me explain that. So ability power is all about your abilities. So, you look at her 1, her 2, and her 3, and her 4. They all do damage, whereas some hunters have more like steroids. They increase their auto attack speed. They increase their auto attack power. They're meant to be used with their auto attacks to make them better. Neith doesn't have a steroid like that. Every single one of her abilities does damage. And so really, high power builds and builds that support that, as you see, I just miss so much for Nox, and I deserve to die here. If I do die, I deserve to die. And I did die. That was so bad. I missed everything. Hitting my ability and 1 basic attack, or 2 maybe. If I would have rooted Nox, I would have killed her. And that's the strength of Neith, but it's also, sometimes when you're out of your abilities, Neith starts to lose a little bit of her luster, because that's where she really can box people and control a fight. She brings a lot of control to the battlefield as a hunter. Now, an ability-powered god, like I was saying, is a god that uses their abilities and works to basically strengthen their abilities, has very good ability scaling. So some gods will have like an ability that causes damage, right? Say Xbalanque's poison darts. Or let's look at something else. Maybe Apollo's number 1. No, that's not really a good example either. Okay, so say a god has an ability, and the scaling after it says plus percentage of this amount of your physical power. Higher percentages of that physical power, if it's between 80 to 100%, that means that god scales really well in terms of their abilities. Neith's ultimate, World Weaver, not only does it do more damage the longer you charge it, which I didn't know, guys. I actually thought it did the same amount of damage if I shot it quickly or if I charged it up. And I realized that it stuns longer and it does more damage if you charge it up, which is why you'll notice me sometimes waiting and charging it up fully before I fire it. As you can see, the major damage that comes from that, allowing my Ravan to get the kill before Nox kills him. However, I get the root onto the Nox, and as you can see, just rooting her kills her. Now the Ares is here alone. I don't even need to use my beads. I just take it because of the fact that he has no follow-up. The danger of Ares doing that is the follow-up. He activates Seal of the Underworld, and I just stop attacking him because there's no need. I don't want to reflect any of that damage to myself. I hit 1, and I go ahead and get my root because it's very easy to use on a predictable target who's running away from you in kind of a straight line. I use the Devourer's gloves to go ahead and get some health back. I'm basically having a minion wave come with me, and this could be GG, guys, after some of those really nice plays. As you see, Neith just kind of getting a little bit of a snowball here. I'm 16, they're 12, 11, and 13. And one of the reasons I really like Joust, and I like some of these modes like Clash, is because you can experience a snowball with the character. It feels really good to have a character be so powerful in terms of levels and damage after you've played really well and had a couple of great moments, and then see the benefits of that. A lot of games in Arena, you don't get that competitive edge, and it makes it very competitive, it makes it very even, but it also is sometimes less rewarding for a job's well done, you know what I mean? It's kind of like an even thing. Now, I'm picking up Jotunns as my last item, so I pretty much have like a lifesteal with a little bit of penetration crit build here. So, it's an interesting build. It worked really well for me this game. A lot of people, like I said, will go for Brawler's Beatstick. Will go for a little bit of a different build, maybe even Titan's Bane. But I kind of like this because it's a nice blend of damage, crit, and as well ability power. You know, I would be really interested to try this, maybe switching out the Brawler's Beatstick and seeing what's up. I have my ultimate charged and ready to go on one of these targets. I'm looking to fire it onto the Nox potentially or the Ares, but I just decided, you know what, let me just go ahead and take this engagement to heart. Let me just go and get in the front of this. Let me pull a Braveheart and just run into the Vanguard and be like, what's up, mofos? It's me, it's Neith. Let's go, let's get it. So I go ahead and hit some minions here, and none of that action that I was talking about actually happens. But I see the Chiron there. I try to use a Spirit Arrow, and I miss horribly. This is like the worst reimagination of me running to the front lines as possible. I'm in the back line the entire time. I miss all my abilities, and one of my teammates dies. It's like the worst possible situation, but they're pursuing, and that is a silly thing by them, especially with a wave of fire. Minions. I hit my root, take out the Chiron. I'm basically going 3v1 here as the Emir had to run away. The Shield of the Underworld's activated by the Ares. I use my Unravel to steal some health back, and we go ahead and get the root, and I basically am able to get the triple kill to finish off this game here, and we're going to probably take this Phoenix in just a second. It's 25-12. I'm 15-3 and 5, and I hope you guys have been enjoying this discussion on Neith, enjoying this build, enjoying this game. And I know you guys have said you want live gameplay, but guess what, guys? It's not going to come right away, because I'm in Chile. I'm away. I'm recording these videos. These have already been made, but I will be commentating live, so you'll get my real life perspective at the moment. However, these videos are already done. But when I get back in Feb, we will have more live gameplay. We'll have a lot more curated content like combo tips and more God guides and more. I actually might have a few God guides come out, but we will definitely have some more stuff coming here as the Neith music comes out as well, guys. I hope you all are watching the Smite World Championships. I hope you really enjoy that as well, because it is a great way to learn about different gods and really understand, I think, more about how the meta is and how you can build your characters. Really, one of the things I do is take screenshots of all of the professional builds of each build they use with the characters, and I look at the games and I really become knowledgeable about why they used those builds, when they used those builds, who they were against, and what lanes. And so I just got really interested in that. I think it'd be a great thing for you guys to do if you want to get a little bit better at this game. Now, one of the things I will be saying, guys, is that, of course, the Rainstorm Arena Invitational was announced. It is a tournament I'm putting on, and if you're in Rainstorm, my clan, please go ahead and pick a team, get a team member of 5. I will be hosting that and commentating that live on Twitch and uploading the videos on YouTube for all you guys who just watch YouTube and don't necessarily have the time or the ability to watch it live. You'll be able to see all the games commentated, kind of like you see the Smite Professional League commentated on and analyzed. We'll be doing that for Arena and an Arena tournament with a great grand prize. Thanks so much, guys, for watching. As always, my name is Rainday. Hope you have a great day. Remember to never give up, never stop gaming. Watch the Smite World Championships, and I'll see you guys next time.